Hello, welcome back to another lab. This is lab 9-4, comprehensive case 3, Dillard stored data, calculate sales tax for Dillard states, part 3. In this case, we're calculating city tax and comparing tax owed year over year. So we're going to compare 2014, 2015, and 2016 sales tax data across cities. So in order to do so, we're going to once again, open up Excel, and we're going to go ahead and load data from the SQL Server. So in the data tab, get data from database, from SQL Server database. And I'm going to go ahead and key in my SQL Server database information, including the server, database, and my SQL statement. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and select OK after I have entered my SQL statement and other server information and allow my information to load. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and load my information. And once my information loads, okay, so I've gone ahead and opened another document that was provided by my professor. In this case, I'm going to go to my downloads, and it's going to be lab 9-4. Hold on, let me. Oh, I think it's frozen. 1 second. The chapter 9 lab comprehensive, lab 4 sales tax for Arkansas cities. So I've already gone ahead and opened it. And what we're going to do here is select Control Shift down. Control Shift down. It's kind of lagging here. And then Control Shift over. And then I'm going to go Control C to copy my information to my clipboard. Okay, let's try that again. Looks like my information is not complete, so Control Shift down and over, Control C. Now that it's on my clipboard, I'm going to go ahead and insert this information into my worksheet I'm working on. And I'm just going to space these out like such.
I know what it is.
Okay, and now, so we're going to go ahead and use our ETL skills that we learned in the previous labs to do a VLOOKUP and calculate the city tax owed in each of the state cities that have Dillard stored. So before we continue with our VLOOKUP, the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and let me use my mouse here. Scroll down a little bit. And you'll notice that MOMEL does not say MOMEL online. It only refers to it as MOMEL. So in order for our VLOOKUP to correctly work, we want to go ahead and make sure that MOMEL online matches with the information from our table, MOMEL online. Okay, so now we're ready to start our VLOOKUP. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and insert a column. Let's go ahead and try that again. Insert. Okay, I think my Excel is lagging a little bit. So let's try that one more time. All right, so I've gone ahead and included another column, and I'm going to go ahead and name this one sales tax rate. Once I hit enter, it's going to automatically make it another column in the table. Gone ahead and expanded it a little to fit all of the words in the title. And now what I'm going to do is include my VLOOKUP formula. So I'm going to do VLOOKUP, and I'm going to include the city as my lookup value. I'm going to do add city actually, just to make sure it's correct. Add city. Close brackets, comma. And my table array is going to be H1, but I want to go ahead and log it. So I'm going to include these dollar signs. H1. 1 colon. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I put in my VLOOKUP, which is pulling the city value. In this case, the lookup value is the city, and the table array is G4. And the column index number is all of the information from the sales tax rates. I did not include the headers, and my range lookup is 2. And then I'm going to go ahead and include false with my closing parentheses, and I'm going to go ahead and select enter. Oops, okay, let me take out this extra 2 here. I'm going to go ahead and fix my formula. I'm not sure. Okay, so there was an extra amount in there, and I've gone ahead and taken it out. So now, once again, my lookup value is the city. My table array is listed here. We want the column index number to be the second one, and we want exact matches. So I'm going to go ahead and select enter now. And we'll see here that our tax rate is matched with the corresponding city here. So once again, I'm going to add in or insert another column. And in this column, I'm going to go ahead and add in sales tax owed. And now I will go ahead and include another formula that will help me calculate the sales tax owed for each of these cities. All right, so I've gone ahead and included my formula that's going to round the amounts, the amount by the sales tax rate. And I've gone ahead and included 0 as the digits. Yep, so I have gone ahead and included that. All right, so before we move on, I'm actually going to go ahead and format this table here as a table. So I'm going to go ahead and do yellow and make sure that my table has headers is selected. And now I'm going to go ahead and create a pivot table. Moving on to part 3, perform the analysis and communicate results. Okay, so in order to create a pivot table, we're just going to go to insert pivot table. And yep, select OK. Alrighty. So once we've created our pivot table, I'm going to go ahead and move this to get a better view of all of my elements. And I'm going to go ahead and put my year in the columns. And I will put the city in the rows. And I will put the sum of sales tax I think it's sales tax owed, so I'm going to go ahead and put it there. Yep, sum of sales tax owed. And once my table appears, I can also opt to only see certain years by selecting this caret here. Okay, so I'm going to go to design next and go to grand totals. And I'm just going to turn them off for columns only for now. Okay, I'm actually gonna go back into my pivot table design and take off all of my totals. So I'm gonna go ahead and say off for rows and columns. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and select the cell next to my table, which in this case is E5. And I'm going to insert a line. I'm gonna go ahead and select this data as my data range, and I do want my new sparkline to show up on E5, so I'm going to select OK. Let's try that one more time. I remember now. I remember what my error was. So I'm going to go ahead and change my range for one line because we're only doing one sparkline per row. So in this case, it would be B5 to D5, and my location range needs to be, okay, let's take that out. All right, so now
Okay.
I'm just gonna drag this down like such, and it's gonna create a sparkline for each of these cities in Arkansas. Okay, so that will be the conclusion of Lab 9-4, Comprehensive Case 3, Dillard Stored Data, Calculate Sales Tax for Dillard State Part 3. In this case, we calculated the city tax and compared tax owed year over year. Thanks for watching.